my name's Marissa and welcome back to my channel. In today's Tidy Up Tuesday video, I'm going to be showing you my laundry routine. This is something that I have received requests for on YouTube as well as on Instagram, and my hesitation was just trying to figure out the best way to film it. I didn't think that it would be super entertaining to just watch me fold laundry for an entire video. So I've decided that what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to talk through my routine, and then I'm going to show clips down below of myself doing some of the things that I'm talking about. For those of you that are new, my name is Marissa, also known as Homemaking with Marissa on YouTube as well as on Instagram. I share lifestyle videos, things like cleaning motivation, cooking videos, parenting tips, financial tips, and occasionally I will share beauty videos as well.
This video is in collaboration with Evelyn. Her channel name is The Caffeinated Supermom, which I think is absolutely hilarious. I love that name for a channel. She will be sharing her laundry routine as well. She often shares lifestyle content on YouTube, things like DIYs, clean with me's, grocery hauls, and the occasional recipe. Would love it if you would go show Evelyn some love and subscribe to her channel after watching my video.
I am a wife and mother to 3 children. I have 3 boys ranging in age from 15 to 3 years old. I detest laundry. I feel it's up there with cleaning the bathrooms and dishes for me. It just feels like you're never really done, and it's just this never-ending task. With that being said, I don't like laundry stacking up, and I don't like when there are baskets full of laundry that's clean that hasn't been folded. The only thing worse to me than doing laundry is not knowing if what I need to wash has already been washed and I'm just rewashing something that's already clean. So I choose to do laundry 1 time per week. Not to say that there aren't circumstances where throughout the week, periodically I have to do an additional load. That certainly does happen from time to time. But by and large, I pick 1 day out of the week. Most of the time it's Thursday, and I do everyone's laundry on Thursday. I'm not leaving my house a whole bunch because we're just doing laundry, load after load after load after load all day. And then I don't have to think about it for another week. Currently, I am a part-time working mom. Prior to social distancing, I was going into the office and I was working 2 days per week outside of my home. In the past, I have worked full-time, and I found that having 1 day for laundry was not effective for me as a full-time working mom, because I did not want to use an entire day of the weekend to just stay home and do laundry. This is the system that works, I think, best if you are in my situation, if you're a stay-at-home mom, or if you are even just a part-time working mom where you're primarily home most days. But even if you do have to leave the house a couple of days a week, you're not feeling like you're cutting into a ton of family time by doing it this way. When I was a full-time working mom, I had a completely different routine. I would do a load of laundry every single day. I set my washer has a delay wash setting, so I would set it to delay the wash for 6 hours. I would put the load in when I was going to work, I would put in the pod, and then I would set it to delay washing for 6 hours and press start. What happens then is 6 hours from when I press start, my load would start, and by the time I got home, the load would be done, and then I would be able to just transfer it into the dryer. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. I try to be really good about responding to comments and answering any questions that people have. So if you have any questions about the actual timeline of how I do it now versus how I did it when I was a full-time working mom, feel free to ask any questions that you have down below. I sort my laundry into multiple different categories. At the beginning of the day, on my laundry day, I will start by removing the bedding off of one bed. Now, I know that some people like to wash their bedding every week. Some people like to, some people wash it more than once a week. Some people go long periods of time without washing bedding. I find that trying to wash everyone's bedding in the house in 1 week doesn't work for me currently. So I alternate which beds get washed. But I always start with bedding. I will strip one bed in my house. Now, my younger kids have bunk beds, so I do their beds at the same time. So if it's time for my bed, then I will strip the bedding off my bed, I'll strip my quilt, and I will throw that into the washing machine. If it's time to wash my little kids' bedding, I will take the sheets off of their bunk beds, and I will start the laundry day by washing their bedding. They have quilts on their bed. I don't wash those every time. I wash those a couple times a year. But their sheets I wash in this rotation with the family. So it would be my room, it would then be the little kid's room, and then it would be my older son's room. So our bedding is getting washed once every 3 weeks. Then I will take the rest of the laundry in the house and I will break it into categories. I separate lights, darks, towels and undergarments, and then my teenage son, his clothes are washed separate from the rest of the family. I do this for 2 different reasons. The first reason is because in my household, when you turn 13 years old, you have to earn the right for me to do your laundry. It's no longer a given that I'm just going to do your laundry because you live in this household. When you turn 13, if your room is not clean when I go in there on laundry day, and my kids know that laundry is done on Thursdays, so my teenage son knows on Thursday, if I walk into his room and his room's not clean, I will not be doing his laundry that week. He's on his own. He's gonna have to wash his own clothes, his own bedding. He's gonna have to figure it out on his own. And this is a well-established routine in our family. He knows this. And to be honest, most weeks he doesn't qualify. I try as a parent to really minimize the number of things that are going to frustrate both of us. He doesn't want me to be badgering him about putting his laundry away, and I don't want to be badgering him about it. But I also don't want to walk into a room and not be able to differentiate between what's clean, what's dirty. I don't want to be annoyed at the fact that what I just washed is still sitting in a basket. I washed it a full week ago. It's still sitting in a basket on your floor. If there is trash laying around, if your room's just generally unkept and messy or dirty, I'm not going to do your laundry for you. I will insert a picture. My son did not qualify this week for laundry. I'm going to show you what his room looked like when I went in there. And he knows. I walk in, I will say, "You're on your own this week, buddy," and shut the door. And it's not something he argues about. He knows what the expectation is. And there are times where he wants me to do his laundry, so I'll see him in there scrambling, cleaning things up. And there's other times where I think he just doesn't really care. And he doesn't mind doing it himself. And that's fine. That is the setup that we have. I'm fully aware that at some point my kids are going to go to college and they're going to have to figure out how to do laundry. So there's no harm in them learning how to do it now. And there's a trade-off in my house once you turn 13. We've sorted it by towels and undergarments, lights, darks, teen clothes, and then the last area of laundry in my house is miscellaneous items. Miscellaneous items include dog items, so I wash all of the dog's bedding and the any blankets that she lays on. My dog is not allowed on our furniture or on our bed, so she has her own blankets that are on the floor, and then she has a dog bed. If I'm going to wash those items, they're washed in their own separate load. I also wash curtains and the shower curtains separately. I end up washing those probably once a quarter. Most of my curtains and my shower curtain are white, so really I don't have a specific timeline of how often I wash them. It's just kind of when I notice that they're not looking bright white anymore. If there's a stain on it or something like that, I will take those off and I wash those in their own separate load in the washing machine. Currently, my husband is the only member of our household that's going to work and that is consistently leaving the house. I'm working from home, and as of the last couple of weeks, my mother-in-law has always been my daycare provider, and she doesn't have any other daycare kids. So as of the last couple of weeks, my younger children have started going back to my mother-in-law's house for care. Anytime someone leaves the house and comes back in, their laundry immediately, the clothes that they're wearing immediately go into the washing machine. So throughout the week, there is some disruption in the normal system of how I do things. Things are not going to be perfectly sorted now, because if you're wearing a light colored shirt and dark colored pants, at this point, we're just tossing it all into the washing machine. If you've left the house, your clothes get taken off and put into the washing machine. Most of the time, that's my husband's work clothes that are in there. And then, like I said, if the kids leave, we're just taking off their clothes and putting them in the washing machine when they get home. So if that gets full throughout the week, then we will run a separate load of laundry of those items. Sometimes when I'm putting the bedding in, there's my husband's work clothes from the day before, which is a little bit different than normal. We're just putting the bedding in with that and washing it with his work clothes. The other thing that's changed because of coronavirus is we used to do dry cleaning. So my husband wears a suit to work every day, and he used to get his shirts dry cleaned, and that's something that we're not doing currently. We're no longer taking them to the dry cleaner. The dry cleaner hasn't been open. Businesses just started opening yesterday in my state. I live in Oregon. They just started opening yesterday. I don't know if dry cleaners are on the list or not. I haven't looked into it. It's not a service that we'll probably go back to dry cleaning eventually, but it's not something that we're currently doing. The next thing I want to talk about is the actual process of the laundry throughout the day. So I start with bedding. I will put that in the washing machine, and I always do, my washing machine has a quick cycle. So it takes 35 minutes to do a load of laundry, and it doesn't matter what's going in there, everything gets washed on the quick cycle. I do that because some of the cycles on my washing machine are over an hour to wash one load, and I've not noticed that I feel like my clothes are really any cleaner if they're in there washing for an hour versus 35 minutes. So everything, if you have a quick cycle on your washing machine, for me it's just a separate button that you push, and it vastly increases the time in which it takes me to do all of our laundry. So everything is washed on the quick cycle. As soon as the timer goes off, that the washing machine is off, I immediately put things into the dryer and get that started, and then I will start the next load of laundry. And as soon as the dryer goes off, I don't let anything sit in the dryer. It immediately comes out, and I bring it into my room, it gets folded on my bed, and immediately gets put away. I find that my clothes get far less wrinkled if I do it this way, if I take them fresh out of the dryer when they're still hot and immediately put them away versus letting it wait. And it also interrupts the cycle. So the only way that it successfully works in my household to get all of your laundry done in one day is to keep that cycle going. So I have to keep rotating laundry, and as soon as the dryer goes off, we're taking it out, we're transferring the clothes that are in the washer into the dryer, starting another load, folding, and putting away. The final thing that I want to talk about is just the products that I use for my laundry. I don't use anything special for the younger kids, for bedding, or for my husband and I's laundry. We just use pods. I'm not brand specific. I have all this time because I ordered these off of Amazon. Normally I get the big thing from Kirkland and the Costco Kirkland brand pods. I haven't been to Costco recently and ran out of those, so I just ordered these off of Amazon, and this brand's more expensive. The next time I go to Costco, I will buy more laundry pods, and I just throw one in. I don't use any sort of fabric softener, and this is a little bit of a hot topic in my family. I don't like using dryer sheets because I think that they have a lot of unnecessary chemicals that we don't need to be putting on our clothes and then inhaling or sleeping on. My husband is adamant about dryer sheets, so I'm kind of 50-50. If I think about it and I know his clothes are in there, sometimes I'll put a dryer sheet in, but most of the time I'm not even using dryer sheets. There are some brands that have less chemicals, but honestly, I don't find that they're as effective, so I don't use those very often. What's your opinion on dryer sheets? Do you have, I guess maybe some people haven't even thought about it, but do you use dryer sheets? I used to use those little fragrance boost things, but again, I'm just trying to minimize the number of chemicals that we're using. I could probably find a cleaner detergent if I spent more time looking into it. I'm not emotional about dryer sheets, but my husband is, so we're kind of split. I have dryer sheets currently because he ordered some and had them shipped here from Amazon. So, like I said, if I think about it, I put it in there, but I'm not religious about using dryer sheets. For my teenage son's laundry, I've talked about this in a separate Tidy Up Tuesday video where I discussed my top 10 favorite cleaning products. For my teenage son, he uses his own detergent. It's called Defunk, it's called Defunkify. It just comes in this bag, little pods, and you just throw one in. If you have a teenage son, or maybe a daughter, I don't know, I don't have a daughter, but teenage boys, their clothes and their bedding and their sports equipment can just, and my son is like pretty religious he's a very religious, taking a shower and hygiene. He doesn't want to stink, but sometimes their clothes just can get a little funky. So this laundry detergent is amazing at combating that. This is an Oregon-based company, but you can order this off of Amazon. And I've said it before, if you have a teenage boy, you will thank me if you use this laundry detergent. It is an absolute game changer. It takes any and all odor out of clothing. My husband is not one of those dudes that just has like a strong smell. He doesn't have a physical job at all, so his clothes don't ever smell funky, but I guess if it could work if you have a husband too, that his clothes just get kind of funky from work or working out or whatever. This laundry detergent, complete and total game changer. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. If you have tips or tricks or hacks of different ways that you combat the never-ending battle that is laundry, please leave them in the comments down below. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. You can do so by clicking on the red button down below. It's completely free and really helps my channel out a lot. I hope that you are all staying happy and healthy. Bye!
I want to remind you that Evelyn will also be sharing her laundry routine over on her channel. I will have everything linked in the description box down below. If you haven't done so already, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face on the right side of your screen.